James Bond returns for Heineken, again, and Tiffany somehow manages to make Jay-Z and Beyoncé kinda boring. I'm Jeff Beer, and this is Fast Company's brand hit and miss of the week. The miss this week goes to Tiffany Co. A few weeks ago, the brand dove headfirst into the news cycle by releasing the first images of a new ad campaign starring Jay-Z and Beyoncé called About Love. Of course, anything featuring these icons of pop culture would attract global attention. But that wasn't all. Piling onto that was the use of a little seen 1982 painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat called Equals Pi, which a lot of people got excited / upset / confused by. Not only that, but the painting appears to feature Tiffany's signature shade of blue, another point of contention and discourse. Not only that, but Beyonce was wearing a 128 karat Tiffany diamond, becoming the first black woman to wear the iconic jewel discovered in South Africa in 1877. And not only that, but then she was accused of wearing a blood diamond. All in all, it was a lot. Now all that was covered by everybody from the New York Times to every obscure hip hop and art site you can think of. And just as all that hype has sort of died down, the brand has now released a short film to accompany the campaign. And it features an incredibly stylized peek behind one of the world's most famous couples. It's actually the second headline-grabbing ad campaign for Tiffany's in as little as 2 months. All part of the ongoing effort by the company's new owner, LVMH, to inject some youthful energy into the century-old brand. It's not the first time some young faces have been recruited to hype the brand, as it did when it enlisted Elle Fanning and A$AP Ferg in 2018. So, with pop culture royalty, some art cred, a classic movie reference, and a cartoonishly giant diamond, how the sweet hell is this a brand miss? Clearly, a lot of people are gonna love this. But if it's a youthful refresh LVMH is aiming for, is featuring two ridiculously wealthy 40-somethings really the move? Rich, middle-aged people sounds a heck of a lot like the same old Tiffany. The film's dreamy overindulgence is typical among fashion brand content, but this 90-second glorified Instagram post, despite all its flash, hype, and hot take reactions, still feels pretty empty. The hit this week goes to Heineken. More than a year and a half after the beer brand dropped its first action-packed spot tied to the 25th James Bond movie No Time to Die, it follows it up with a quieter, self-aware ad that feels pretty perfect for the moment. See, No Time to Die was supposed to hit theaters in April 2020, and since this is a movie franchise typically drenched in brand partnerships, marketers like Heineken, Omega Watches, Land Rover, and more had already been pumping out the brand tie-ins when the world was hit by a global pandemic. 3 release delays later, Daniel Craig's last Bond film is finally set to launch on October 8th, and the brands have kickstarted the ads. What makes Heineken's choice here different is that it got Craig to shoot another ad, this time actually referencing the long pandemic delay. Its first No Time to Die ad last year had all the 007-y stuff you might expect. A car chase, exotic European locale, mistaken identity, Bond fighting terrorists while doing a keg stand. Okay, I made that last one up, but you get the idea. This time, he's singing a quiet pub. And as Portishead's mellow glory box swoons in the background, he picks up a bottle of Heineken off the table and calmly pours it in a glass. After an unrushed, contemplative sip, he stares directly into the camera and says, "Well worth the wait." Now, both brands and audiences are hoping it'll be just that. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. To see more weekly videos about the best and worst in brands and marketing, hit the like and subscribe button.